After fighting alongside the Bad Batch against the horde of police droids in order to obtain the head of a tactical droid, Trace and Rafa Martez return to their ship, the Silver Angel, where they have Ahsoka's loyal astromech R7A7 on board. They use the astromech to begin a hologram communication with a mysterious robed figure who claims to be fighting against the Empire. So who is Trace and Rafa's contact? Let's break down all of the possibilities. Before we dive into it, make sure you're subscribed for more awesome Bad Batch content as soon as every episode releases. So to start off, the most obvious and probably the most likely option is Senator Bail Organa. Bail Organa served as the senator for Alderaan in the Republic Senate all the way up to the creation of the Empire, where he continued serving in the new Imperial Senate. We already know that Trace and Rafa's contact is, according to them, someone who wants to help fight back against the Empire to make the galaxy a better place. At this point in the Empire, there are not too many people who are fully against the Empire yet, as you have to remember, the Empire was literally the Republic not too long ago, and were the ones who managed to put an end to the untold suffering and terror of the Clone Wars. We know, thanks to the deleted scenes of Revenge of the Sith and the brand new reference books, that Bail Organa, along with Padme and Mon Mothma, set up a meeting to begin forming the roots of the rebellion. At this meeting, they began to discuss what they could do to fight back against Palpatine after he refused to hand back the emergency powers given to him throughout the Clone Wars. They couldn't even speak the words out loud at this time because of the huge risk on their heads. So there aren't that many people in the fight at this point, and Bail happens to be one of them, which is a strong pointer towards him. This then leads us to the next hint towards Bail Organa, which is his robe. The robe that the man in the hologram is wearing looks pretty similar to a traditional Alderanian robe, which is of course where Bail comes from, and has some striking similarities to the robe that Bail Organa wore in Revenge of the Sith. As you can see on screen now, the patterns match up pretty closely to Bail's garb. Overall, I'd say he's the most likely choice, but there are definitely others it could be. After that, we have the possibility that the mysterious robed figure is Ahsoka Tano. This one is unlikely given what we know, but it's still possible. When the Martez sisters began the call with the robed figure, they did say patch him through, pointing towards it being a male on the other end, but if we look back at Star Wars Rebels, when Ahsoka was acting as a Fulcrum agent, Hera and the others believed that Fulcrum was a male. Now, if this does happen to be Ahsoka on the other end of the transmission, it would be yet another retcon to the Ahsoka novel. The Ahsoka novel at this point in the timeline pretty much has her hiding out on the planet Tabesca, working for the Fadi clan as a mechanic, up until she is forced to move to Rada after being spooked by some Imperial attention on the planet. After starting an uprising there, she eventually gets the attention of Bail Organa, who employs her as a spy for the rebellion under the name Fulcrum. The only problem is that most of these events happen after about a year of Imperial rule. There's no way a year has passed yet in the Bad Batch series, so it would be another retcon. Many people have also said that because R7A7, Ahsoka's astromech, is the one delivering the message, it must be related to her. This could be true, but it also could be that she just gifted R7 to the Martez sisters after recovering and repairing him after the Venator crash. We did see the astromech with Rex at the clone graveyard, so Ahsoka definitely wanted to repair him and put him back to good use. And she definitely didn't have R7 when she was in hiding on Tabesca. So overall, I don't think it'll be Ahsoka, but she can't be ruled out either. Next up, we have another very possible choice, and one that would make a lot of sense given the context of the show. That is, Captain Rex. We know that Captain Rex will be appearing at some point in the show thanks to the trailers already released by Lucasfilm, but we haven't had a hint at where he will fit in just yet. The trailers that Lucasfilm are making these days usually only cover the first few episodes of a show, and at most half of the season, in order to keep all of the surprises from the second half hidden. And given that we only have 2 episodes left in the first half of the season, it would make a ton of sense to have Rex show up now. On top of this, Rex has a pretty extensive knowledge of the battle droid enemies that he fought against throughout the Clone Wars, so maybe he's devised a plan to use a tactical droid head against the Empire somewhere in the galaxy. We did also see Rex in the trailer at the Venator scrapyard, which could be Bracca from Jedi Fallen Order. If this is Bracca, maybe the person in the hologram is Captain Rex, but wearing one of the classic ponchos that the workers from Bracca wear. The only problem with this theory is that Captain Rex didn't really join the fight against the Empire properly until he was discovered on Selos by Kanan Jarrus and Ezra Bridger, and by the sounds of it, they were on pretty good terms with the Empire while they were stationed there. Commander Wolffe even reported the presence of Kanan and Ezra once they arrived. Another possible point that goes against this theory is that when Hunter tells Trace and Rafa that the Bad Batch are different, they respond, "I've heard that before," in a pretty distrusting manner. If they have met Rex, then there'd be no reason to respond like that because Rex has his chip out and is no longer with the Empire. So if they did meet Rex, there'd be no reason not to trust the Bad Batch. Following that, we have another very important figure in the galaxy who doesn't exactly fit the description, but could still be a surprise twist, Darth Maul. Just looking at Maul's Clone Wars robes, you can definitely see some similarity between those and the ones in the shot. The Maul theory does however go against Rafa's line about this mysterious figure being someone who is fighting back against the Empire. But to be fair, these two sisters were never the brightest, and they were actually pretty naive in their Clone Wars arc, so it could easily be Maul deceiving them, making them believe that he is fighting against the Empire and doing good for the galaxy. Or another possibility is that maybe Maul literally is fighting against the Empire with the power of Crimson Dawn, because he's certainly no friend of Palpatine at this point, and the Empire definitely has no love for criminal syndicates running around and disturbing the order which they preach so highly. We've seen on many occasions that Crimson Dawn are very anti-imperial and will do whatever it takes to strengthen their grip over the galaxy. So included in this theory, you can also throw in Dryden Voss, since he's a high-ranking member of the Crimson Dawn crime syndicate, and the Lucasfilm animation team have shown time and time again that they don't waste money to make a model and then only use it for 2 seconds. Even Grievous got a reappearance. As for why Maul might want a tactical droid head, he may want to know how to defeat Imperial clone troopers just like Sid suggested, or he could also simply want a glimpse into Palpatine's tactics or testing, as we know the early versions of Order 66 were tested on droids at various battles throughout the war. It would also be pretty funny if Maul ends up being a major figure in the creation of the Rebel Alliance, just by sharing an enemy with major rebel figures. Next up is another possibility which is actually pretty high up on the list, Saw Gerrera. Saw automatically makes a lot of sense considering he is a major player in this series and will do almost anything to take down the Empire. He's an extremist. Saw would have many reasons to want to delve into the head of a tactical droid, including military strategy, past communications, and trying to figure out how to beat the Empire at their own game. With Saw being as extreme as he is, it's pretty safe to assume that he's already planning a huge uprising against the Empire somewhere in the galaxy and is making all of the preparations for it now. From the Catalyst to Rogue One novel, we also know that Saw Gerrera was moving through many of the same crime and underworld circles as the Martez sisters were in the Clone Wars Season 7, so that could also be a massive connection between them. After that, I want to throw in one Jedi pick, which isn't the most likely, but can work with what we know in canon. That Jedi is Quinlan Vos. In the final days of the Clone Wars, Ventress jumped in front of Count Dooku's lightning to save Quinlan Vos's life, leaving him absolutely devastated. After the Clone Wars, however, and the Great Purge, we really don't know what he did. All we know is that he definitely survived. In one of the Vader comics, the Inquisitors pull up a list of Jedi survivors who they are searching for, and on that list is Quinlan Vos. Based on what the Jedi did to the Martez sisters before the war ended, most likely Luminara, I don't think they'd be too comfortable working with the Jedi, but I just wanted to throw that in there as a dark horse pick. With Dave Filoni and this writing team, you honestly never know. And finally, I've seen so many people saying Mace Windu is the contact. While this would be absolutely awesome and would be completely unexpected, I don't think the Bad Batch is the place where they'll bring such a major character back, if they ever do at all. They'll almost certainly save a big reveal like this for the new live action shows which are in production right now. And to cap it off, I've seen heaps of predictions like Obi-Wan, the Kaminoans and Lux Bonteri, but I think these ones are much less likely. So those are pretty much all of the main possibilities for who was in the hologram at the end of the Bad Batch episode 6. Thanks so much for watching, really hope you enjoyed the video. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.